Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. Hard to believe I'm already on my 50th game during this year's Advent of the Phoenix, but here we are. And we're heading to the skies of World War I to play Western Front Ace by Compass Games. This is another game in the Greg Smith style of games that's very narrative focused. So we're continuing our playthrough of Elwyn Bowman, who's a British pilot. So yeah, let's give this a shot and see what happens here. So first thing we need to do, of course, is roll for our mission. That is a 2d6 roll. I've got my allied missions right here off shot. We are still in October 1916, right? Yes. October 1916, so we'll roll, see what happens here. Bring the tower in shot. I'll put it down here. That's a boxcars. Ooh, we're on balloon busting tonight. Okay, I know there's something in particular about balloon busting that I've got to be worried about here. Ah, here we go. There's Randy Smith now stopping by. We're getting ready to fly. We're getting ready to fly again tonight. I'm going to move that. I want to make sure I can get the dice tower in shot here. Well, we'll find out how happy it's going to be tonight, Randy. I've got the starting orientation right here. Okay. But I don't need... So I only need I can get that out of the way for the time being. Anywho, let's move to our takeoff roll. Takeoff is... Actually, I think we roll for a number of contact patrols. Takeoff, move to takeoff box. So we are getting ready to take off. I need to find my takeoff rolls, which should be... I'll need the encounter chart in a minute. I thought there was a takeoff chart. Can't find it here for whatever irritating reason. I see the landing chart. I think we might just roll for... Oh, no encounter. I think we roll for encounters on takeoff. I think we roll for encounters, not takeoff roll. Roll for encounter. Okay? So I've got the encounters over here. We're in the friendly lines. So we're in takeoff landing. That's a 5. Which friendly lines? We've actually got a fighter coming in. That seems rare. Alright, so... Fighter, let's see what fighter we've got coming at us. I think there's a... Here we go. Should be a separate chart, yep. For German fighters, 1916. So now we need the 2d6 for that. Seven says we've got a Halberstadt D2 coming in. So now I need to get out the chart. So I need to get out that chart. Yeah, I figured out it was roll for takeoff. I'm so used to a lot of the other games in this series being I'm so used to a lot of the other games in this world being roll for takeoff and landing. That sometimes it takes me a little bit of getting used to when a game is roll for takeoff when a game is roll for an encounter in the takeoff box instead of roll for your first encounter. So I think the way I've been doing this is I find the fighter because there's nothing on the 2-seater there because it's not on the 2-seater chart. So I just grab out the actual fighter. Then Albatross D1. Albatross D2. Okay, that's pilot name chart. That's definitely not what I want. Yeah, here it is. So I've got the Halberstadt D2 right here. So we need to roll for... So we do need to roll for starting orientation. That is a... I had that on a chart earlier. Here we go. It's B1. Alright, 11. Enemy starts advantaged. That could be trouble. So I need to find my German fighters. Excuse me. Let's see, the Halberstadt D2 right here. So the enemy's starting out advantage to us. So we're going to be position them something like that. And we are... Oh, current endurance goes there. So we are going to end up... I believe that is enemy advantaged. I'm pretty sure that ends with... I'm pretty sure that their advantage ends up with them tailing... Nope. We're taking enfilading fire. So we're getting our... So we're essentially getting our T crossed is where we're ending up in this scenario, right? Yes. Alright, so enemy starts advantage, so we start there. Now we go to card 3. So we've got the aircraft, conduct combat. So the first thing we have to do is roll for... First thing we have to do is decide on a maneuver that we want to use, since we are disadvantaged. So now we've got to make a choice of the movement that we want to use. Fighter's attack card. If we're disadvantaged, I'm going to go defensive by using the next option. So we're going to go defensive. So we're going to go defensive on our first combat card. Our first combat card here, using the defense option, is a side loop to improve 1 times 2 if rotary engine. So we're going to end up going from disadvantaged to head on. And now that we've gone head on, this is the enemy card for the fighter. So he is going to be attacking us. I think, yes. So, yep. If he is defensive. Okay, so we're looking at the Halberstadt. He's got a forward firepower of 3, so 3 power here. 3 power, he's dealing 2 hits. So improved by 1. 2 hits from the enemy. And we should have the 2D, it should be a D66 roll. Here it is. Fighter damage, so as usual, we're rolling apostyle. Black is our 10s, white is our 1s. Let's see, that is a 13. That's a starboard strut hit. Change in orientation occurs after the firing round if memory serves. Okay, so if that's the case, looking in the, you have 3 options. You can only use the defense aircraft that is being tailed, which it's not. So maybe it does. I'll trust you on that. So we are still technically, it's still technically disadvantaged, but we do have the starboard strut hit, which is what I was doing over here. So starboard strut, which is right there. Then we'll roll for the second hit. $15 is landing gear, so we're going to have a harder time putting this thing down. So by my landing gear getting knocked out, that's going to make it so it's a +1 landing. So now we're head on. And now I need to figure out what I think we're both firing for all rounds of combat are assumed to occur after firing. Okay, so if we improved by 1 position, this doesn't stop the enemy from firing. Let me stop some or all of them. So we'll roll 2 dice for initiative. One for the aircraft, one for theirs. So I'm going to roll black for the Germans, white for the British. So we have a speed of 11 to their speed of 9. So we're going to end up with essentially no... 14 to 14, so we're going to end up with no change. Is how that's going to net out. So we don't have any... So we don't have any shift in the roll. So we don't have any shift in our position, which means we're both firing. So we are both going to fire. I'm going to expend an ammo to use my forward guns. I've got 2 firepower. So our card is going to be 4 hits. So 4 hits for us. Let's see what Imperial Germany scores. They have a firepower of 3. They're scoring 4 hits as well. Let's see how bad this is going to be. We'll roll our hits first. So change to both are firing head on. Yeah, that's what so I forgot to flip the... So I basically flipped it back. I basically moved it back to a disadvantaged from that, but now I have changed the chits down here so we're both firing head on. Yep, got it figured out. So we'll roll our hits first, but everything is going to happen simultaneously. Let's see, a 15, that'll knock out their landing gear. So it'll make it harder for them to put their bird down. Then we'll roll our second hit. .31 is a tail hit. Let's see, tail hit there. We've got 2 more hits going out. We've got 2 more outgoing hits. 56 is rear guns, so their rear guns are out. Not that I think this plane has rear guns. It does not. So that's an insignificant damage. Or whatever it's called in... Actually, that's minor damage. So minor, insignificant, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, as Jester now stopping by. What do you know what? Last outgoing hit, then I start rolling for incoming hits. 16 is a fuel tank. That could potentially knock them out. So a fuel tank hit for them. Does that do anything? Fuel tank hit or an engine hit requires a 2d6 roll. So I'm going to roll to see what happens, but this will all be after they fire. That's an 11, so leaking. So they're leaking. Which probably means which I would imagine means they're going to have to break off after this round of combat. But let's see what the incoming hits do to us. Does the landing gear have 2 boxes for damage? They both do. So right now I've got that on level 1. Once I move that down to level 2, then that'll be a +2 modifier. So I probably grabbed the wrong chit in the grand scheme of things, but I don't think it'll make a difference. So we've got 4 hits incoming. First hit coming in. 12 is a port strut. So we've got a port strut hit incoming. Then 23. Uh-oh. That's even worse for us because that's an engine hit. So now we've got to roll for fire as well. Let's see, on an engine hit, fuel tank hit requires the... right. Right, that's a 6, so we're leaking. So we're leaking. I will grab the, it looks like these probably all want to be damaged chits then. There we go. I've still got, you understand how I'm tracking the damage. Just trying to keep it as straight as I can, because I do like this game, even though I've got a lot of the Greg Smith games. So we've still got 2 more hits incoming, though. A 24 is another port strut hit. We might just get our plane knocked out of the sky here. So a port strut and 1 more hit coming in. Am I tracking ammo usage? I've got the chits up here. I took an ammo off when we fired. I think they probably get ammo too, so they should be at 4 ammo. That's a 33. Okay, yeah, that is a port strut hit, so our plane is shot down. Now we have to see if we survive. Spoiler alert, I'm not betting on that. So that's a parachute chart, but I'm pretty sure since our plane is just shot down, I'm pretty sure we're just going to plummet to our deaths at this point. Actually, we could re-roll that with a touch wood, and I think I will re-roll that hit. So let's see if I can survive this. I'm not betting on it, though, knowing my luck, so we're going to re-roll that port strut hit. See if we can roll it into something we might actually survive. 42, never mind. Never mind, that's still going to be a port strut hit, and we're still going to end up shot down. Let's see, so if we end up shot down, bailing out on page 20. So if shot down, or even if shot down, a German may decide to bail out of his aircraft. So we're a British pilot, which means Elwyn is just going to end up plummeting to his death from the port strut being taken out. So sounds like that's going to do it for this playthrough of Western Front Ace. So Elwyn plummets to his death. And that probably makes the second pilot I've lost this week. Because I defend it, because this is going to be at least the 3rd or 4th pilot I lost. Because I lost one when I played Mag-23, in my playthrough of Mag-23 Guadalcanal, continuing that long playthrough earlier this week. I lost a pilot in that game in Guadalcanal. Then I lost my pilot in Defending America at Sea. And now I'm losing my Western Front Ace pilot. So it's been kind of a rough week for pilots under my command. But that'll do it for this playthrough of Western Front Ace. So next time this comes to the channel, I will be rolling up a brand new pilot from flight school. And let me just refresh the stream real quick. And yeah, some encounters do go quickly like this. And actually this is great. This is great for content. Because if the encounters go quick like this, so be it. If they go like 40 some odd minutes, if they go 40 or some odd minutes like that, then that's just what happens. And no, they're not. I don't think there are going to be any more flight games this week, Jester. I'm probably going to be playing other stuff the rest of the week. Although there are definitely some other games I want to put on the channel here during Advent of the Phoenix. Although I will mention this now, and I'll mention it again when we get closer. But there will be a break on content creation over Christmas week, as I will be traveling and I won't be making game videos while I'm on the other side of the state. I am planning on doing an episode of Mystical Munchies while I'm out there, though. So there will be I am going to continue the Christmas tradition I started last year of an extra episode of Mystical Munchies while I'm out on the other side of the state. And it'll be out of the same cookbook I'm cooking out of, which is the Corleone Family Cookbook for this October. Anyway, I've established that I enjoy this game, even if it can be brutal like that. So I'm rambling at this point. I want to get tomorrow's first game set up, so let's wrap this video up. I don't know what I'm still figuring out what I want to play tomorrow, but there will be games coming on the channel, including one bright and early tomorrow morning. As for what all is scheduled, Saturday, Mystical Munchies will continue out of the Corleone Family Cookbook as we're making the entree, Shrimp Scampi. I don't know if that's probably going to be an afternoon upload, because entrees usually are afternoon uploads, so that'll be dinner this week. As for what else is scheduled, on a related note, and thanks for stopping by tonight, Randy. On a related note, Saturday, probably morning then, I'm going to be doing another game of Payoff Pitch Baseball, as I'm continuing to scrape off rust on that, heading into my 2001 season replay, which will be starting in January. And yes, this game can be brutal, as I've heard, and experienced for myself. I want to say this was probably my 4th or 5th mission with Elwyn. Actually, 4th mission, and he ended up coming to a sudden stop on the ground in this one. So, anywho, just going through the content scheduling, I talked about Mystical Munchies, Payoff Pitch. Sunday morning, I am making a change on what I'm doing. Instead of doing Arkham Horror, the role-playing game on Sunday, I'm actually going to be doing a football. I'm actually going to be doing a football day. Say that 5 times fast. So I'm going to start off my football day in the morning with a game of second season football by Play Games. I don't know what season I'm going to yet, but we will be doing a football game on Sunday morning. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications to get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.